What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at Shadow Mewtwo and how well it performs here in the Great League. Now, I know you guys have been probably wondering where have my videos been. This last week I was sick. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys would have saw this post. But basically, I needed to take a week off. I was really sick. I lost my voice, couldn't talk. So yeah, we're back now, which is going to be good. And today, I decided to do a few sets during the week and try out Shadow Mewtwo. And my goodness, it is strong. It is powerful. Now, what you guys need to know with this team, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and hopefully you're listening and not just kind of watching, waiting for the battles without sound. You guys have to have shields for Shadow Mewtwo. Shadow Mewtwo cannot do a thing if it doesn't have shields. If it doesn't have shields, it gets one-shot by basically every single move in the game. On top of that, there's a lot of different safe swaps, right? I'm utilizing Cresselia on my team. I did try Pelipper. That worked pretty well. Defense Form Deoxys as well worked pretty well. Galvantula did okay. But I ran into some more trouble with that. But I think Cresselia out of the group was probably the best and most consistent when it terms of getting wins. As well, I don't think I'm going to do any more battles until Kanto Cup starts, which means you guys are going to see my rating over here. Can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I believe it's like 3,120 something maybe. You guys will see it over there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think about Shadow Mewtwo, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, getting into this first battle here. We have Stunfisk on the lead versus Stunfisk. You see this a lot. And what I said, like I said at the beginning, you have to give shields to Shadow Mewtwo, which means I'm not shielding here on Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going straight Earthquake. My goal right here with this team is to eliminate opponents' shields early and get Shadow Mewtwo shields. So I'm not going to shield. Even though I landed Earthquake, I'm not shielding. It's going to be another Earthquake, which is unfortunate, but hey. We know we won CMP tie, so hopefully I can get to this Rock Slide, which I can. This is either going to give me switch advantage, or we're going to get a shield from my opponent, both of which is pretty positive. We get shield advantage. That's fine. This gives now Mewtwo big free reign endgame as long as I save shields. Again, we bring in the Cresselia right here. We know this is going to be Earthquake. They didn't throw Rock Slide, and they do get to the Earthquake. That's fine. We can tank it there on Cresselia and farm down. Now, what we're going to see come in here is going to be a Meganium. I should swap right away, but I decided to go for the Moonblast to try to get a shield, do some chip damage here against Meganium, and we're going to swap right now into the Shadow Mewtwo. This is where Shadow Mewtwo thrives. It thrives with 2 shields to 1 shield to no shields. That's basically what you want to have. We go for Side Strike, we get a shield right away, which is great. They bring in Pelipper. I want you guys to guess if this one-shots a Pelipper right here. Side Strike against Shadow Mewtwo with Side Strike against Pelipper, and it does. Boom! One-shots Pelipper right there, and then Meganium's going to come back in. Remember, we still have 2 shields. We still have Cresselia. We get to a Side Strike right here. There's nothing this Meganium could have done. It would have had to have hard farmed me down, and that is going to be a good game right there. So, saving shields for Shadow Mewtwo is the goal. If Meganium decided to throw energy, we would have been fine. Okay, moving into this next battle. And it's very hard to do, by the way. You really want to shield stuff, but you just can't. You have to rely on Shadow Mewtwo. Okay, we got Roserade here on the lead, the spicy new pick. It plays just like Sunny Cherrim. Has a different variety of moves, but basically it's going to be spamming Weather Ball. So what I'm hoping to do is go for a Rock Slide right here to try to chip some health and see if we can maybe get a shield. I should have probably built up to Earthquake and then thrown the Rock Slide in hindsight, but that's okay. We're just going to go for Rock Slide, and what I'm going to try to do now is catch the Weather Ball here on Cresselia. So we're going to go ahead and swap into it, start fast moving down, and they swap into Bastiodon. This is very, very good, actually. Bastiodon is just one of those things that's going to wall a Shadow Mewtwo, because Smackdown is just going to do so much damage, and Flamethrower and Side Strike just aren't going to do enough to take it out fast enough, unless it's like half health, no shields, right? But we're going to go ahead and go for these Grass Knots right here. They do neutral damage in the matchup, and they decide to throw energy, which is actually pretty decent for us. But what I'm hoping to do here is basically let Cresselia tank everything and then come in with Galarian Stunfisk and farm down to have a lot of loaded energy versus Roselia, right? But that Roselia does have loaded energy as well. So we're going to go ahead and keep throwing these Grass Knots. I kept running into Bastiodons, but that's what's great about Cresselia is it drew out the Bastiodon. Now, I decide to swap into Stunfisk here, hoping that maybe they're going to try to throw a Stone Edge, but they decided to throw Flamethrower, which is unfortunate. But what are we saying? We're not giving up shields, right? We see a swap now into Politoed. So things are not looking good. What do we have? We have Politoed, which is going to have loaded energy. We throw the Rock Slide, we get a shield. That's good. Can't get to another Rock Slide. We have Bastiodon with a decent amount of health. We have Roselia with energy and a decent amount of health. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Mewtwo right here. This is going to be tough. All right, but this is what I said. If you guys can give Mewtwo 2-1, 1-0, it has a lot of great opportunity to sweep endgame with Flamethrower and Psy Strike. So we get a shield right there from the Politoed, which is great. We're going to have to shield ourselves. Literally anything that touches Shadow Mewtwo is basically going to near one-shot it. Now I decide to swap and try to go for a Grass Knot right away because I wanted the Politoed to have to throw its energy, or I get that Grass Knot off for super effective damage. They decided to throw the energy, which is fine. We bring back in the Shadow Mewtwo right here. They decide to swap out into Bastiodon. So I'm going to have to throw this Psy Strike right here and get this Bastiodon low. So I don't do all of it, right? Because what I need to do is farm down. As you guys can see, Smackdowns really add up. Like, it takes out Mewtwo very quickly. So I have to completely farm down. We are extremely low. We have one shield. Here comes the Roselia, or Roserade. I don't know why I keep saying Roselia. Roserade comes in here. Psy Strike will one-shot it right here, which is good. And then Politoed is in the back. We snuck through a Psy Strike, which is critical. As Politoed has a Weather Ball ready to go, and now we're going to be racing to the next Weather Ball / Psy Strike. But Mewtwo should be able to win the CMP tie, and we are going to be taking out this Politoed right there, and that is going to be a good game. So, like I said, you guys have to trust in Mewtwo with 2 shields. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Maybe there's like a Tropius in the back with Razor Leaf or a Charmer in the back, right? Sometimes you can't do that, but if it's just low-hitting fast moves and you have shield advantage, you guys can do really well. Okay, so we have Venusaur on the lead here. Really don't like that matchup early, so I'm going to swap out into Cresselia, and they decide to stay in. They're staying in right here, and they're throwing a charge move, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and tank it. Again, our goal throughout this whole video and through these battles with Shadow Mewtwo is save those shields for Shadow Mewtwo. It is so tough to want to shield something, but you have to save the shields for Shadow Mewtwo. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything endgame. So we see another Bastiodon come in, and I saw we had Venusaur lead Bastiodon. I'm guessing there might be Galarian Stunfisk as well. It's kind of a typical formation. Maybe a Fighter Bastiodon Galarian Stunfisk or Venusaur Bastiodon Galarian Stunfisk. So what we're going to do is just keep throwing these Grass Knots. Keep that in mind, that our Mewtwo is going to be like our end game, and we're hoping to be able to get a shield at some point. And I'm hoping it's going to be with the Galarian Stunfisk to the Venusaur. That way Mewtwo can close end game. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Stunfisk. We're not shielding. Yes, Flamethrower does super effective damage, but it's not going to one-shot us. And it's not even going to two-shot us, so we're not going to shield the other one as well. We're just going to just basically commit to the farm down, and I throw Rock Slide if they're about to get to another Flamethrower. So they throw it, and then they actually decide to swap back into Venusaur, which is fine. This is where I have to get a shield right here or punish them for not shielding. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Earthquake. This should be getting the shield for my opponent, and now I swap straight into Mewtwo and go into the plan. Bastiodon's low. Venusaur, we're going to force them to have to shield again right here with this Psy Strike. If they don't shield it one-shots, boom! Takes out the Venusaur. So now we know Bastiodon's in the back, but it's low, and there might be something else. It might be Galarian Stunfisk. Bastiodon decides to come back in, so I am going to have to throw this Psy Strike right away right here. As you guys can see, these fast moves are adding up. And actually, I think if they decided to shield right here, they might have been able to take me out. But they decided to trust in Galarian Stunfisk, which is a mistake because Mudshots aren't doing too much. And you guys are going to see, I'm going to go ahead and shield right here. And they've only seen that I've had Psy Strike, right? They may assume that I have Thunderbolt, but I have Flamethrowers specifically for this matchup. It's for the Galarian Stunfisk. And this does so much damage. Watch this. Boom! Nearly one-shots it. We take out or swap to Galarian Stunfisk here and farm down, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. So yeah, GG's right there. All right, moving into this next battle. Let's see how this one goes. We have Stunfisk on the lead versus Stunfisk. Again, I saw this mirror match so many times, and what I do in this mirror match is throw the Earthquake and not shield. Because of the fact that I have Shadow Mewtwo in the back, I need to get shields and I need to save shields. So I'm going to be preaching that all video because it's very, very important. We get a shield right there. So I'm going to go ahead and swap into Cresselia. They decided not to throw energy. I'll tank Earthquakes here on Cresselia instead of Galarian Stunfisk, right? Might as well do that. So they actually decided to throw Rock Slide, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not shielding. I am literally not going to shield a thing on this Cresselia because I'll come back into Galarian Stunfisk versus Galarian Stunfisk. They decided to throw the Earthquake right there, which is good, and I'm hoping they swap out, but they don't yet, which is a tell that whatever's in the back is extremely weak to Cresselia. Maybe it's an Azumarill, maybe it's Fighters, maybe it's an Umbreon, but Umbreon would still do pretty decent, but we do have Moonblast. This is what I'm going off of. Psychic typing, Grass moves, and Moonblast. So I'm trying to think what they have in the back. I'm guessing it's going to be Azumarills and Fighters. So we're going to go ahead and bring back in the Galarian Stunfisk here. And then we're just going to go for Earthquake. We're going to overload a bit on energy. And I actually do decide, I think I decide to shield right here. I'm going to have to, right? I'm going to have to right here. I'm forced. We're in a 1-to-1. But I'm going to overload on energy now. And then I'm actually going to go for the Earthquake. Rock Slide wouldn't do enough to KO, and they may be able to get to another charge move. So I'm going to try to undercharge it to see if it works, but it doesn't. So now I'm going to have to swap right away. It is going to be a Fighter, and it's going to be a Fighter and a Beedrill, actually, which is really spicy. But what's really tough about Beedrill here, it has X-Scissor, which does super effective damage to Mewtwo, and it's a very low energy charge move. So we do get a shield right there, and hopefully we can get to another one in time. They're going to go ahead and throw the X-Scissor. I have to shield this right here. Things are not looking too good. There's still a Surfetch in the back, and hopefully I can get to the Side Strike. I do just in time, winning that CMP tie. This is going to take out the Beedrill. It just does so much damage. And then we are going to see the Surfetch come in. I'm hoping to get to the Side Strike. I don't. That is unfortunate, but we're super close to an Earthquake, everyone. Charge Me Not coming through. If it's close combat, it's over. If it's a Leaf Blade, we have a chance. It's a Leaf Blade, which is not enough to take us out. It's going to be a race, and I get to the Earthquake in time with 1 HP in a Dream. But is this going to be enough damage to take out the Surfetch'd? And it is. Boom! Takes out Surfetch'd, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right. Moving into this next battle, we have Galarian Stunfisk versus Galarian Stunfisk. This is literally all I saw in the 3,000 to 3,200 range. So many Galarian Stunfisk leads. So we're going to keep doing the same thing. We're just going to throw the Earthquake, not worry about it, and give our shields to Shadow Mewtwo for endgame. So we throw the Earthquake, we get a shield, great. I try to swap into Cresselia, but they CMP tied, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go right here. Actually, I decided to shield that. That was a mistake right there. I shouldn't have shielded that. And they went for Rock Slide. I got to stick with my guts. So now I timed the charge move and swapped to Cresselia on the charge move. It's going to be an Earthquake. So we catch it there, which is good. So we recovered pretty well. But again, what was I preaching all game? I know I just messed up right there at the beginning of mine. But preaching that you guys cannot give up shields. You have to save those shields for Shadow Mewtwo. So we go for Grass Knots right here. They're not swapping out, which tells me there might be stuff weak in the back. Maybe a Pelipper might be in the back. It's very commonly paired with Galarian Stunfisk on the lead, so we'll have to see. But we're going to go ahead and go for another Grass Knot. I think he's just going to try to commit to the Farm Down, which is going to be very, very tough here. But hopefully we can force his hand with his shield. He doesn't shield, and this is going to be very close. He does decide to throw the energy at the last second, which is fine. So I should be able to come in with Galarian Stunfisk and Farm Down right here. So we'll have to see what's in the back. I'm guessing it's going to be a flyer of some sort, something to cover Fighters, and it is going to be a Pelipper, which is good. We're already well ahead on energy, so we're going to go ahead and go for double Rock Slide right here. 2 Rock Slides will take out a Pelipper. It does super effective damage, so he's going to have to shield one. We get the first one off, and now we're going to get the second one. If this gets a shield, Shadow Mewtwo is about to go to town. So we get the second shield, which is great. And he is going to throw his Weather Ball right here, which is fine. I did happen to sneak through that Mud Shot at the last second, so I should have a Rock Slide ready to go. It is going to be Weather Ball. We're going to go ahead and throw this Rock Slide. This is going to take out the Pelipper, and we have to swap right away into Shadow Mewtwo no matter what it is, because we'll just get farmed down. So we're going to swap right away, and it's going to be an Altaria in the back. So it was double flyer there. And we're going to go ahead and go for Side Strike. We'll have to see how much damage this does against Altaria. You guys saw what it did against Pelipper earlier in the video. It does a lot to Altaria as well. And thankfully, because we have a shield, and we can get to this next Side Strike, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. So tough one right there. If I would have saved the shield, it could have been a better end game close, but still a good game right there. All right, moving into this next battle. We have Stunfisk on the lead versus Defense Form Deoxys. Okay, So this is a pretty decent matchup here for us, but the thing is, in order for them to win this lead matchup, they're going to have to shield, which is fine. This is exactly why I'm just going to keep throwing Earthquakes. I don't care if they shield. That I actually want them to shield. I want shields gone. There's the first one. That's a beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to stay in this. Defense Form Deoxys does a lot of damage with counter, but its charge moves really won't do anything, so you don't need to shield at all. It's just going to be a Thunderbolt. Doesn't do too much, so I'm going to go ahead and go for another Earthquake. If they shield this one, I think I'm going to swap into Cresselia because I don't want him to farm me down. He does shield the second one, which is fine, so I'm going to go ahead and swap now into the Cresselia. Start getting ahead on energy. He's pretty loaded on energy as well, and he brings in Galarian Stunfisk, which I'm like, okay, what else could be in the back? Maybe it's another Bastion on Galarian Stunfisk backline with Defense Form Deoxys on the lead, which is just super bulky team, but what we're going to do is just not shield, right? We can win this game with Shadow Mewtwo if it has 2 shields, as long as we save that. So we're going to go ahead and go for another Grass Knot here. We still have a decent amount of health on Galarian Stunfisk as well with some energy, so I can get to Rock Slides and Earthquakes if needed. But hopefully we can get to this next Grass Knot, which we do. And hopefully this is going to be just enough damage to take it out, but I don't think it is. Yeah, barely not enough. So they're going to have to start throwing Earthquakes right here. We're not going to shield again. I don't care if Cresselia goes down. It's meant to absorb damage, but they keep going for Rock Slides. I'm like, okay, you keep throwing those Rock Slides. That is fine with me. And I think I swap now into Shadow Mewtwo. After this next Rock Slide. Yeah, I do. They decided to keep throwing Rock Slides. I'm going to get ahead on energy. Defense Form Deoxys is going to come in. We're going to start shielding now. If this is Thunderbolt, which it is, that is very, very good for us. We're going to have to go for Flamethrower here. Side Strike wouldn't be enough. It is going to be resisted. But Flamethrower does neutral here against Defense Form Deoxys. So that is going to take out the Defense Form Deoxys. Galarian Stunfisk is one fast move away, and the final Pokemon is going to be... We'll have to see what it is. It's going to be a Azumarill. Okay, so Defense Form Deoxys, Galarian Stunfisk, and Azumarill. Shadow Mewtwo doesn't care. You guys want to see how much damage Side Strike does against Azumarill? It's a heck of a lot. Boom! That's a lot of damage right there. And then we can get to another one in time. That's going to be taking out the Azumarill. Well, we're going to have to shield this. This next Side Strike is going to take out the Azumarill. And then remember, Galarian Stunfisk has 1 HP. We still have our own Galarian Stunfisk. We still have Cresselia. So this is why if your opponents are down shields, Shadow Mewtwo can just destroy the whole back line pretty much, which is really, really awesome. And I believe that was the final one. No, not even close. Okay. Alright, moving into this next battle. We have Galarian Stunfisk versus Ninetales. Okay, so this is kind of tough right here. Weather Ball is what we have to look out for, but we're just going to go for Rock Slides right here. It does do super effective damage, and we're hoping they're just going to start shielding. We just want to put a lot of pressure early, and we do not get a shield, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to go ahead and try to swap into Cresselia on the charge move to catch it. Considering that I didn't get a shield, I need to catch the energy here on the Cresselia, which is fine. Decided to overload on energy, and they bring in a Sableye, which is good. This is why Cresselia safe swap. It can handle Sableyes and Umbreons and Scrafties and whatnot because of Moonblast. That's what's great about it. It does super effective damage to those dark type Pokemon. So this is why I think Cresselia might have worked out the best on safe swaps because of its ability to handle stuff like this. So I'm going to shield this next foul play. I need to get to another Moonblast right here because Sableye absolutely destroys Shadow Mewtwo. Absolutely destroys it. It's so hard to face it, but we get 2 shields right there. So now I'm like, okay, I'll save my shields for Shadow Mewtwo. In hindsight, might have wanted to possibly get to another Moonblast, but we're going to bring in the Galarian Stunfisk right here. They do get to another foul play, and I know the Ninetales has energy, so this is going to be very, very tough. This is going to be a tough decision right here. So I'm going to go for Earthquake. It's going to do the most damage here in the matchup, and I'm hoping it's just going to be enough. But, oh, man. Really in a tough situation. It's not enough damage right there, and they are going to throw their energy right here. So what I'm going to do is risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to go ahead and no-shield this, come in with Shadow Mewtwo, and commit to a farm down right here. Just hard commit to a farm down, but they swap. Oh no, they decided to throw energy right here. They got to that foul play, which is very, very unfortunate. I needed to hard farm that right there. And then now they swap into the Ninetales and go for a Weather Ball, which is game over. There's still a third Pokemon in the back, but hey, good game, very well played. Yeah, Sableye tough, kind of tough to deal with, but Cresselia can put a lot of pressure with Moonblast, which is nice. Okay. Moving into this next battle, we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Altaria. Very positive matchup for us. We see them swap into Azumarill. We go into Cresselia. Very positive again. And I'm hoping they have like Galarian Stunfisk in the back as well, and they're just running the cookie cutter Great League line. So we're just going to go for Grass Knots right here. Grass Knot is a legacy move. I forgot to mention at the beginning, but it is marked over there. Same with Side Strike. But Cresselia, we're going to go ahead and shield a Play Rough. I know I said saving shields for Shadow Mewtwo is good, but in this situation, Cresselia can beat Azumarill, and I have Moonblast for Altaria, so I'll get shields back no matter what, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to let these next charge moves go through and just try to commit to a farm down, have some loaded energy here. So Play Rough comes through, doesn't do too much damage to us. I'm going to overload a bit. They decide to swap out into Altaria, which is fine. This is why I have Moonblast. It does super effective damage against Dragon-type Pokemon. And we are going to see them not shield, which is fine. I can bring in Galarian Stunfisk now. We know Azumarill is low and doesn't have too much energy. It bailed out, and we build up to 2 Rock Slides right here before they get to a Sky Attack. This first one should get a shield from my opponent, which it doesn't. I'm like, okay. So what do they have in the back? We're going to save our shields. Obviously, I need that final shield for Shadow Mewtwo. I have lots of health on Cresselia. I have lots of energy now on Galarian Stunfisk, and I'm just going to commit to the hard farm. I don't care. We resist Dragon Breath. We resist Sky Attack, Dazzling Gleam, Dragon Pulse. It's all good. We're just going to commit to that farm down because we need to get those shields out of the way versus whatever comes in. Now, we are going to see Azumarill come in, so I'm going to go ahead and go for this Rock Slide. This is going to take out Azumarill, or we get a shield. And if we don't get a shield, then I'm just like, okay, what do they have in the back? They've got a Medicham, which is fine. We can go for Earthquake right here. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage. And then I'm going to swap into Cresselia right here to force them to have to use some energy. So if they decide to go for Power Up Punch, we're saving our shield for Shadow Mewtwo. Shadow Mewtwo can close this game out for us. It's just going to be a Power Up Punch, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and go for Moonblast right here. They may think it's Grass Knot, but I'm going for Moonblast for super effective damage. I need to get that final shield out of the way. They don't shield, which is fine by me. This guy really doesn't like using his shields on charge moves that do massive super effective damage. It's okay. So we're going to go ahead and just now go for a Grass Knot. He now has to shield. If he doesn't shield, he loses right here. So he will shield, and then we just bring in the Shadow Mewtwo. So he does shield right there. And then we bring in Shadow Mewtwo, and then show him that maybe he should have been shielding Azumarill and Altaria and stuff. But yeah, we bring in the Shadow Mewtwo, and that is going to be a good battle right here. It was really, really trusting in his Medicham right there to close this game out. But I had Shadow Mewtwo in the back, which is a very tough answer for a Medicham. And I believe that, yeah, that was an XL Medicham as well. So good game, very well played. And that was the final battle right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's been a while since I made a few videos, but I needed to take some time off. But yeah, this team was a lot of fun. It's very, very tough to use. You guys definitely need to be saving shields for Mewtwo endgame. But yeah, definitely a lot of fun. I wish you guys all the best in these final couple days. When Kanto Cup drops on Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can no longer get rating, by the way. So you guys have today, you guys have tomorrow to climb up to whatever rank you guys are trying to get to. And then once Kanto Cup starts, we are basically frozen until Season 7. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.